Before your sales page even goes live, you're already hitting backspace, slicing the price before a single soul has ever even pushed back. You have added a complex payment plan when no one's even asked you for it. On top of that, you've already decided to build a smaller, safer version of the original offer God gave you, and it was never meant to be small. You call it accessibility when it is not. It is your nervous system that is flinching. In this video, I am going to show you exactly why you keep shrinking your prices and the radical shift that happens the moment you stop. Here is what we have to confront. Your pricing and your identity are in fact neurologically linked. Your energetic signature, meaning your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, and your actions, cannot hold a price tag higher than the worth it has assigned to the woman behind the offer. So when you drop the price before anyone ever gets a chance to push back, that isn't a strategic pivot or even business strategy. It is simply a psychological self-protection mechanism. Now, I want to take a moment here right now, okay? Which one of these words have you been hiding behind in order to justify your shrinking? Is it accessible, being market aware, or meeting people where they are? And the reason why I want you to do this is because we have to be willing to expose the good girl and really speak truth, okay? And I want you to tell me in the comments which one you have been standing behind, because these are not just words, okay? And it's actually an internal strategy, okay? And I'll go first. For me, it was meeting people where they are. So drop yours in the comments. Now, through my journey and my client work, I have learned that there are 4 specific ways that this pattern leaks out and actually drains your business. So let's get into each of them. The first symptom is simple. You discount before anyone says the price. And this was the one that I noticed the most for me. Okay. So before the sales page even goes live, before anyone in the public has even seen your price, you've already marked it down. Okay. And I call this the premeditated bargain, okay? And I call it that because your nervous system runs a subconscious assessment, okay? It feels the threat, it senses the threat, it panics, and it pre-negotiates your value before your ideal client ever has the opportunity to even respond to you. And hear me on this, okay? The woman who finds you at a discounted rate is a woman who is not really able to experience the fullness of your work, okay? The same as the woman who paid for a price. And trust me, I have seen this myself, okay? Because the thing is that she came through a back door that you left unlatched out of fear. And you will feel like you actually have to drag her to the finish line. This client will exhaust you. She will deplete you of your energy every single session. And founder, I need you to hold the standard. The second symptom is the one that most women really refuse to admit. And it is that you built a safer, cheaper version of the offer that God actually called you to build and to actually price at full weight. God gave you a vision for what was next and what to actually build. And you got right to the edge of it, okay? And then you flinched. You ended up deciding to create a mini course or a tiny workshop just so that you could stay near the assignment without ever having to fully commit to the weight of it, okay? The mini offer, though strategic in this case, it is not a bridge to the real thing. It is your escape hatch from it. So your offer architecture is truly a direct reflection of how much of your actual assignment you believe you are permitted to birth within your metron. The high level woman that you were called to lead, that you were destined to serve, she doesn't want or need a watered down entry point. She needs the full weight of your assignment. But instead of you offering her the full inheritance, you handed her a brochure because it felt safer for you to manage. Number 3. Symptom 3 is when you finally find the courage to raise your price and then quietly you put it back down 3 weeks later. 3 weeks have passed without a yes. The digital silence felt like a lethal verdict, okay? You call you pulling your price back down discernment, okay? But your subconscious mind is nothing more than a meaning maker, and it loves to use your past as an earmark of possibility, which means that your nervous system created the panic and your intellect built the justification. And both of them are valid. But scripture reminds us that having done all, we are called to stand. 3 weeks of silence is not the market telling you your price is wrong or that your offer is trash, okay? It is simply the natural, quiet gap between planting the seed and watching the harvest break through the soil. But because you are anxious, you keep pulling the seed up every 3 to 7 days to check if it's growing, right? Now, having set the price in obedience, your only assignment is to hold the line. Number 4, this last one hits hard theologically, so really stay with me. You are actively attracting and accepting the woman who wants a bargain instead of the woman who wants a transformation. This one is so good. Okay, listen. In the parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25, the master does not commend the servant who buried the talent just to keep it safe, which tells us that kingdom stewardship is not about preservation. It is about multiplication, which means when you make the decision to discount, okay, you aren't making your work accessible. You are actually making an unconscious selection. You are filtering out the high caliber woman who was actually ready to invest at full price. And you are filtering in the woman who is looking for a discount code, okay? The client who haggles you down at the door is always the client who drains you at the table. Remember that, okay? And Proverbs chapter 20, verse 14 in the CSB illustrates this perfectly. It says, it's worthless, the buyer says, but after he is on his way, he gloats. This is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. Every time you drop your rate, just to get a yes, just for a sale, you are trading your peace for a transaction, which means that you will be forced to keep proving your value for the entire duration of the experience. One haggles, one shows up, okay? One woman drains your energy. The other one funds your legacy. Your offer is not too expensive, by no means. Your nervous system is just not yet built to hold this level of your work that it's actually worth. And that is what my client Alyssa's $750 tag was, okay? It was not the right price by any means, okay? It was just the price that her nervous system could actually defend without buckling, right? And the moment that we anchored her energetic signature, again, her thoughts, her beliefs, her emotions, and her actions into God's truth concerning her, she was able to hold the boundary at $2,500. That's 3x, okay? The women who said yes showed up entirely different, and she signed them within about 2 days, okay? They showed up. They actually did the work, and they actually got radical results because the investment that they had to make, okay, so their actual nervous systems, you know what, this is real. Okay. Now, her perfect fit clients, they were there the entire time. If you are sitting here realizing that this pattern is actually leaking your authority, your peace, and your revenue, okay, you don't need another marketing course. What you really need is a diagnostic, and the power audit is one conversation to really help you identify exactly where the good girl is policing your business, where she's softening your voice, your message, and where she is causing you to shrink your offers and actually costing you the women that you were actually destined to lead. Okay, the link is right in the show notes, or you can scan the QR on the screen. Here is what your business and your life actually look like the moment that you make the internal decision to stop shrinking. You will stop repricing your offers mid-launch just because the silence got loud. You will stop building watered down, cheaper versions of the very thing that God called you to build, that He assigned you to build and bring forth into the marketplace. You will stop lowering your standards 3 weeks in, okay? You will be in a place where you know exactly what you carry. You price accordingly and you hold the line. Not because the fear completely vanished. No, it will be because you have decided that your divine assignment is no longer subject to your fear. And holding your price it's not a personality trait. It is a decision, and it is available to you right now. When you honor your value, your clients will find you at full price and say yes with no friction. They will show up committed and ready to do the work. They will show up fully resourced, you'll show up fully resourced and highly energized. And you'll find that you will value every single session accordingly, okay? Your business will finally begin to actually reflect what you actually believe about what God put on the inside of you, okay? And not just what your nervous system decided was safe in the moment. Now, your price is never just a marketing tactic. It is not. It is truly a profound theological statement about what you believe about your assignment is worth. If you are done letting fear write your pricing, the power audit is your very next move, okay? It's one single call. It is a beautiful but also sobering analysis of exactly where the good girl mentality is leaking in your revenue, what is standing between you and consistent 5-figure months, and also whether the Wild Wealth experience is actually where you even belong. So I want you to, again, to scan the QR on the screen or click the link in the show notes. Okay, so now look, once you finally get regulated around your price, you are going to notice something very specific, okay? The engagement will still be there, but the buyers won't. And that is an entirely different problem. To fix that, I want you to click here and watch this very next video. And founder, I want you to remember, honey, you can choose to be palatable, or you can choose to be a woman of wild wealth. Bye for now.